Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Gilda Evans, bringing you the Autism Resource Podcast. This podcast and the ARP website are your one-stop knowledge and resource base for autism and much more. I'm pleased to have Ernie Merlan as my guest today. For more than 30 years, Ernie has worked in the entertainment industry as an art director, muralist, and scenic artist for various studios, including Disney Imagineering, Universal Studios Creative, and Sony Pictures. As the CEO of Merlan Creative, he has led professional design teams in the creation of virtual sets, digital murals, and augmented reality. He was the founding executive director of Exceptional Minds, a nonprofit visual effects and animation program for young adults with autism. Ernie founded Muralism to help teach young artists with special needs to work while doing something they love. The Muralism mission is to connect people with special needs to the community through art, from large-scale murals along city streets and police stations to school marquees, museum installations, and even blacklight panels at Councilman Paul Krikorian's office. It is all done with a team of young adults with disabilities that design the concept, prep the walls, transfer the art, and help the public paint the murals. Welcome, Ernie. And thank you so much for taking the time to join me today to discuss this terrific organization you've created.
I'm honored to be here. I'm really excited about everything you pulled off with this podcast and all the people that you're helping with it. So thank you so much for having me on.
Well, it's a pleasure. And to begin with, tell me, what got muralism started?
When I was with Exceptional Minds, we had an organization, Mitsubishi Electric. They wanted to find a way where they can come out and be with our artists, actually spend time with them, have their team be a part of it. And we just didn't have the facility for that. We had very small rooms that we had packed with as many artists as we could learning visual effects and animation. And I didn't have an opportunity to bring people together to do something like this. Well, as an artist, I'd worked with the city before, done murals for the city before. And Paul Krikorian's office asked me if we would be part of the first mural that was being done after the moratorium. And what that means is that back in 1984, we were LA was the capital of the world in terms of mural painting. And the city had put a moratorium on them. No more murals. For 11 years, we weren't allowed to have murals. So Paul Krikorian's office wanted to put a mural up. And I said, well, we'll only do it if I can involve the special needs community. And so we brought in, we had 200 volunteers that were part of that mural. And we were able to bring in a lot of the kids from the school to be a part of it. And that was kind of the beginning of it, because after that, I realized, man, I wanted to get back to what I love to do, which is paint murals in the community. And at that point, I had my new love, which is, folks with special needs that could really do something with their lives. And I thought, gosh, this is a great way to do it. We can involve companies to bring their team out and be with us, working side by side with us. And then for those with special needs, it gave them the opportunity to talk to people, to share their lives with other people. And I thought, this is the perfect thing. Let's meld these two things together and create muralism.
So that sounds like a wonderful start to what is really, truly an amazing organization. Tell me a little bit about how the process works. When somebody says, hey, we want a mural. Hey, Ernie, come and do this mural for us.
Again, our goal is to connect those with special needs to the community. So that, everything starts with that. So one of the things that we'll do is when someone says we want to paint a mural, well, obviously, we need to look at the mural, see what it's about. We pull the stakeholders together, meaning it could be your board, it could be your students, it could be the community, depending on who's asking for the mural, and we get your ideas. So our team of artists work with that stakeholder group to design something. So we'll go back and forth, usually on Zoom. We'll go back and forth and come up with some designs. Our whole team inputs in it in different ways. And so once we've come up with a design, once we have something that we all agree is right for your organization, our group of artists go in and pressure wash the wall, prime the wall, and then turn it into a giant paint by number mural. So then we invite your team, the community, the councilman, even the mayor has been out to paint with us. We invite all those folks to come out and paint for 2 days. They come out and they paint together. It's like a big festival atmosphere. We have snacks and drinks and music, and everyone is painting and having a good time. We provide everything there. We provide the brushes, the gloves, footies if you want to cover your shoes, certainly masks for COVID, test if someone's actually feeling a little punky and we want to make sure. We also schedule the whole public community. So you have to sign in with a link that we give you, and that way everyone is kept about an hour apart. And that way we don't mix up everybody. Once that community paint day is finished, our team of artists come back, and for about 2 weeks, we fine tune the mural. We get rid of the drips and drabs, and we coat the whole thing with a graffiti coating to protect it. And then we have a giant ribbon cutting where we invite the media and we invite city officials and everyone that got to participate in it. And we have a big old party.
Well, it sounds like a whole lot of fun. Actually, it really does. So what are your goals for muralism?
Our goal has been since the beginning to do 100 murals throughout Southern California before the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. But we've already reached 39. We have 39 murals and we have 6 years to go. Our goal is now to paint bigger and better murals. So we're actually in talks with the city of LA right now of doing what we call the Lankershim Walls, which is the underpass at Lankershim and Sherman Way that goes under the train. That's about 4 city blocks worth of walls that we're in negotiations to paint. We're also working on the giant wall behind the post office in North Hollywood. We've got many murals that are in process. So we just want to do bigger and better ones. We've also recently gotten word that we're going to get a building. So that's pretty exciting because that building won't be ready for about 1.5 years at this point, but that building will become a community center where we will have a maker space and we will have art classes and lectures and even rentable studio space that artists from the community can be a part of it.
Well, it sounds like there's some really wonderful things in store. And I have no doubt that you will make your goal in getting those murals done and making the city that much more beautiful. So I'm really appreciative of that and the work that you're doing. And I have another question about the special needs artists that work on the murals. Do you pay them? Do they get paid? Do they get any special training before they come and participate in getting a mural up?
Absolutely. We've created a 30-chapter curriculum that trains them in what we call on-the-job training, which is how to load the van, how to mix colors, how to prepare all the tools and things like that, things that we need on the job, plus all the safety items like how to climb a ladder and how to use a power tool. So there's that curriculum. We have a vocational curriculum that teaches them how to schedule their time and clock in for getting paid and things like that. And then we have an art curriculum that actually gets in the nitty gritty of design and art in general. All of our artists make at least the minimum wage, which is the $16 an hour. Some of them are making up to $20 an hour at this point. So as you learn your role, you move up the ladder in terms of pay. And then there's other artists and groups. So other special needs organizations get to be a part of our murals. So they're invited to come out and just participate in the mural painting. But our core crew of about 10 artists gets paid for every hour that they work, including the training.
At this point, is there anything that I haven't asked or that we haven't covered that you would like to mention? And also, if our listeners want to find out more, if they want to get involved, if they want to help, how can they reach you?
Well, I do want to share a couple of things. One is come visit us at muralism.org. There you'll be able to sign up for a newsletter to where we'll tell you when we're doing big public events, and that's really the place to start. Come join us at a mural. Come paint with us. Come paint side by side with one of our artists or side by side with a police officer or with the mayor, come play with us. That's really what that's about. Beyond that, I wanted to let you know that we do teach a Zoom class on Thursday nights where everyone is invited. And again, our whole mission is to connect folks with special needs to the community at large. So we invite you to come to this Zoom class. It's more of what we call Art Gym, where people show up and get to draw with us and paint with us and have conversation with us. So that's Thursday nights at 5 o'clock. And if you want more information, go to muralism.org and register for that. And I also wanted to share with you that we are now in cahoots with Nickelodeon on something called changex.org. And if you go to changex.org, you'll be able to follow and just type in muralism. And what's happening is that Nickelodeon and other corporations are actually giving away our murals. So you as an organization can register for a mural. And if you're lucky enough to be chosen, not by us, but by that conglomerate of corporations, you can get a free mural. So they're offering them here and in Atlanta right now. So if you'd like a mural for your organization, go to changex.com. changex.org.
That is wonderful. Now, could you please spell those two websites out just in case our listeners didn't quite catch that, the Muralism website and the ChangeX website, so that they know exactly where they need to go?
Yeah, so Muralism is just muralism.org. And ChangeX is the word change, CHANGE, and the big letter X.org. And that's it.
All right, terrific. Well, thank you so much, Ernie, for your time and for sharing your story and wonderful resource with us today.
Thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun, and I hope that I get to see you out at a mural soon.
Absolutely. Count on it. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast. You can find it on Apple iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and other popular platforms. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can always access us and other great resources on our website, autismresourcepodcast.com. I want to thank our listeners for spending a part of their day with us. This is the Autism Resource Podcast, and I'm Gilda Evans, reminding you to take care of yourself and that special person.